Banlist season? Banlist season. What's going on, guys? It's Aurora coming at you with another epic Yu-Gi-Oh video. So as you can see, I finally got my new microphone. If you couldn't tell, there might be a little bit of tinks coming in here, but like, look at that. My new beautiful microphone. I was gonna actually take the sock off, but I didn't want to because I don't want it to like scrape or anything. But hopefully it sounds better than my last microphone, even though my last one wasn't that bad. But tell me in the comments below, do you like this one or do you like the old one better? I'm trying to make my audio quality the best it can be. But that aside, as we all know, in just a few weeks in July, the start of July to be precise, we're gonna be getting a new ban list, and let's be honest, like, we don't really need too many hits right now. This is probably one of the healthiest formats Yu-Gi-Oh! Has had in a long time, ever since like Sky Striker, Orcus, Salad, whatever format, because everything is, it's not like totally unfair while it is a bit hard to break some of these boards, but it's not like impossible to break, you know? And there's so many different decks. There is so much diversity in the decks you can play, from meta to rogue to whatever you find in your grandma's old shoebox. Like, it's amazing. However, I do think there are a few subtle problems and maybe a little bit of, like, you know, slaps on the wrist to here and there to give to some decks. So also keep in mind, this is also not just a prediction list, but also partially a wish list. And so my opinions may not line up with yours. Tell me in the comments below what you think instead. And without further ado, let's get right into it. So the first thing I would like to address in this list is, of course, the bans. And this is a bit of a weird topic for me because I don't feel like there's very many things that actually need to be full-on banned. Of course, I'm not going to leave you guys in the dark. I do have at least one thing I would like to say should be banned, and has been a thing that should have been banned a long time ago. And I'll tell you that right now. So as we all know, Dragon Link has been one of, if not the best deck in the last few formats, and also saw a lot of competitive play in the last couple years overall. And yeah, banning Guard Dragon LP won't like kill the deck, but it'll definitely like kind of hinder it a little bit and prevent it from being like the sole curb stomper a lot of the time. Cards like DMZ Dragon, Black Metal Dragon, and all sorts of things that extend your plays or make degenerate little combos and stuff are always just being played off of Guard Dragon LP, a Morphage Goliath to lock your opponent out of the extra as well, you know, you name it. It all leads to a bunch of degenerate M boards that, unless you have Forbidden Droplet or Dark Ruler in your hand, is gonna be very difficult to break. Of course, Guard Dragon LP does have alternatives like Heretic Dragon of Atum, which isn't that easy to make, granted. It requires 2 level 6s, it is a rank 6 Xyz, but because of this, there are certain builds of Dragon Link, such as the Dragoonity variant, that can easily make something like Atum, or at least not easily make it, but make it as part of the combo and kind of make it play around certain things. So a hit to LP overall would be very healthy because Dragon Link, while it can still play, won't be able to be as degenerate, and a lot of other builds of dragons can truly shine. And that's gonna have to do it for the bans. I know a lot of people are probably expecting something to Winda or whatever, but I don't think it's as problematic as people are saying, especially once people kind of got used to it again. But I will address the deck it is in the next section with absolute glee. Next, we have the limited section, so for those that may be disappointed by the lack of bans that I have with a giant hammer, you're definitely going to be excited in the limited section. For the limited section, I've chosen Eva, Striker Dragon, Fire Formation Tenki, Magical Meltdown, and Fossil Dig to 1, with Electromite, Harpor, and Mirage Stalia coming back to 1. I know it seems like a lot, but hear me out. So Drytron right now is already kind of fucking nuts, and to all the people who say it's not been out long enough to receive anything on the ban list, fuck you. I'm sorry, but I don't fancy dealing with a 6 negate Herald of Ultimateness with 3 Herald of Orange Lights and a bunch of other random bullshit on board, off of like 1 card and 1 name. Alright, so I might be being a bit over dramatic even though it's not too far off from the truth, but I feel like limiting Eva is the perfect option to address Drytron without killing the deck because people will get upset. So, like, limiting Eva, it will prevent you from getting, like, all the Heralds in hand. It prevents you from getting just a bunch of extra names in hand for Ultimateness, etc., etc., because that card's pretty degenerate. Like, I don't know why Konami thought it was a good idea. I guess another thing you could do to address Drytron that I considered is ban Cyber Angel Ben 10, but I didn't want to do that because I know people would cry in the comments. The hit to Striker Dragon is just another way for Dragon Link to kind of get slightly addressed, particularly the rocket build without killing the rockets with a hit to like Rocket Trace or a Quick Launch. And again, it just lets other Dragon decks come and show their stuff. See, I didn't really want to hit Tri-Brigade just yet, considering I don't really think what it does is too unfair, and it can be stopped pretty easily, just in my opinion. But a limit to Fire Formation Tenki isn't going to kill the deck, it'll just make it a little bit harder to get a body in hand every single game. So, like, you know, just to hit, like, a little consistency a little bit, you know? That's kind of with a lot of the things here on this list, including the Fossil Dig hit, because I don't think dinosaurs are going to get hit because the scrap stuff came out and Konami wants to make money. But if they do hit anything, Fossil Dig is probably one of the most likely candidates, and a limit to Fossil Dig would just make it a little bit harder to get Misc in every single hand. And so hopefully, to the people that can't read Misc, you know, it'll be a lot more bearable. And finally, we have the hit to Magical Meltdown. Again, it's another thing for the consistency, especially considering I've never seen an Invoked player not open either Alistair or Meltdown, or both, which is worse. And I have seen people saying to hit Winda, to hit Alistair, to hit the whole Nadir engine, whatever, but the Nadir stuff is a bit too new, and Winda itself isn't the problem. I think it's the fact that you can one-card combo into a free negate, and then the rest of your hand just gets out a bunch of random bullshit out. Plus, Invoked has been around, like, pretty long right now, so I don't think a hit to it or to Alistair would be that big of a deal. It's had its time in the spotlight. And so at this point, a timeout for the field spell is absolutely nothing for the deck. The revival of Electromite, Harpor, and Mirage Stalios simply come from the fact that those decks are kind of just power crept right now. Even with Electromite, Pendulum's not going to do anything. Orcus, it exists, I guess, but I mean, it's pretty easily stopped by anything that stops the graveyard or banish stuff. And Mirage Stalia, please just help Salad players so I can stop hearing them bitch on Twitter. All of the decks are basically power crept by now, and we have to help our fallen veterans somehow. But anyways, that's gonna have to do for the limited section of this list. Again, I try to focus more on slaps on the wrist than anything because, again, this format is very healthy, and so we really don't need to do much except for maybe hit the consistency of a few decks, so a few more decks can come up and kind of, like, make their way into the scene. So on to the semi-limited list. So we don't actually have anything going down to 2 copies from anything, but we do have a lot of cards coming back, such as Dynamite Knight, Infernity Archfiend, Salamangreat Gazelle, Salamangreat Circle, and Zodiac Trident. Again, it's another situation of it's not really gonna make the decks that they're played in do anything, but it is going to give it a nice little boost back up into relevancy. So again, people can stop complaining about it, including me, about Dynamite Knight. I miss True Draco. But the one thing I really want back to 2, you know, as a little wish list thing, is Called by the Grave. Konami, if you're waiting for Crossout Designator, how about you stop teasing us for 2 years and just print the damn card so I can have Called by back? Make your money, just give me Called by. And finally, we have the unlimited section. So this is quite interesting because I only have one thing that we all know is coming off the coming to unlimited, because I want you guys in the comments to tell me what you think should come back to 3. I'm not going to put any work or any sort of effort into this section. I want your guys' opinions, okay? You tell me in the comments, what do you think on this current list can come back to 3 and not cause any problems, or what do you want to see come back to 3? Because the one thing we all know is coming back to 3 is going to be Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon, because it got eroded to be once per turn, and so now Red Eyes players can rejoice, I guess. Yeah, again, tell me your opinions on what should be unlimited, and thank you all so much for watching this video. Tell me about the video in general. Do you think I was too harsh on some decks? Do you think I was too lenient on some decks? Just whatever you feel like. I want to hear your guys' opinions. I love reading every single comment. I love interacting with them. I try to heart every single comment if it's heartable, and I love responding and having little conversations down there. Plus, it helps push the videos into the algorithm. Another thing that pushes videos into the algorithm is hitting the like button. So if you did like this video, please sure to hit the like button, as it helps put this video and the channel into the YouTube recommended. And if you really like this content and you want to see the rest of my amazing Yu-Gi-Oh content, perhaps consider subscribing, because we're on our way to 1,000 subscribers by next May. And so every subscriber means the world to me, because we've been growing at a massive rate lately. Like, I've gone from 115 to 160 subscribers in not even half a month, which is insane. So if we could continue that growth, that'd be amazing. But yeah, again, thank you all so much for watching the video, and I'll see you in the next one. This is Aurora, signing off.